So this is going to be a presentation of the shot list that I'm going to be using in my film opening. I've divided it into 4 scenes. The first scene will be the morning routine, second scene packing and leaving, third scene car ride and flashbacks, and the fourth scene quite short flash forward and the cliffhanger. So, an overview. I developed the storyboard thinking about all the shots that I wanted to include and taking a lot of inspiration from scenes from films as well as other unrelated pictures that I would like to recreate as shots. So that's how I've made the storyboard, and I'm just going to run through it explaining the shots that I'm going to use. So let's get down to business. The first scene is going to be the morning routine. So I wanted to start with a dynamic shot that establishes that it's the morning and establishes quite a warm and bright feel. So I'm going to start with the sky through the window, extreme close-up or close-up. So it's going to be a dynamic shot. First of all, the camera is going to tilt upward and then pushing out to a close-up of the window, so that we get a sense of setting, a sense of we are inside a room, and then the camera is going to tilt in the direction of the arrow on the storyboard, and of the purple arrow here in the presentation, to a medium shot of the desk, moving it, following the tilt movement, so sort of like scanning all the objects that are on the desk, which are quite important, really important props. So just so the audience gets a look at those. Then the camera is going to cut to an extreme close-up of a phone with an alarm beeping, so as to establish the morning routine conventions. The morning is starting, the person is waking up. So then this is going to cut to a medium close-up of a hand looking for the phone in the bed and picking it up. So then I've taken this inspiration from the shot in the beginning of the film After. There's going to be a close-up directly in front of the girl's face, and she's going to be rubbing her eyes, so that audience kind of starts to get to know the character, starts to create rapport with her, and then because I want this to be again a dynamic shot, there's going to be a camera pushing out of the shot slightly until the next shot, which is going to be an extreme long shot of the girl sitting on the edge of the bed. I'd like it to look like the shot I took inspiration from the film Battle, here on the left. So as to convey, the girl is getting up, her morning routine is starting, and then there's going to be an ellipsis, so the camera is going to cut directly to the extreme close-up of the hand of the girl on the door handle, pushing out to the medium shot of the girl opening the door and walking out. So first of all, an extreme close-up of the action, the door is opening, and then pushing out to the medium shot, the girl is going out. The next shot is going to be quite tricky, because I didn't want to break the 180-degree rule, so I was going to have to cross the line and film the crossing of the line with the camera, which is what I have represented in on the diagram on the left. So first of all, there is going to be a close-up of the box, because the box is a really important prop. It signifies that the girl is moving houses. So close-up of the box, and then it pushes out to a medium shot of the girl putting her diary inside the box. So at this point the girl is at the right of the frame, but because she is now going to turn to her right, the camera, as she does so, is going to record the crossing of the 180-degree line, and film behind her a kind of tracking shot to the right, so as to film that transition. And so then the girl is going to be at the left of the frame, looking to her right, and looking to a photo of a wedding, of a married couple. This photo is really important, so the camera is going to push in on that photo to a close-up and linger there. Next, after the girl puts the photo inside the box, the camera is going to cut to a long shot of the girl putting the photo inside the box, picking it up, and then starting to leave the room. So as she starts walking towards the door, the camera is going to track the shot, but then this is going to cut because the girl is going to turn around to have a look at her room. Again, this shot is something that I saw in the beginning of the After film, this type of shot, which I really liked. The girl having a look at her room, getting a little bit nostalgic. So I thought that I would recreate that shot, or try to. So it's a bit of a tricky sequence. So first of all, the camera is going to be placed at the door because the tracking shot has led the camera there. So there's going to be a medium shot of the girl there. However, she's going to turn her head so as to look at the room, and when her head is at the profile, so as to make the transition more smooth, as when the girl's head is at her profile, the camera is going to cut to the next shot, which is going to be taken from the room looking toward the door. So that's going to be quite a tricky shot. And then the girl is just going to leave the room. So after that tricky sequence, we move into the second scene, packing and leaving. So there's going to be an extreme long shot of the girl walking into the room, pushing into a long shot as she gets closer to her mom, kind of as to mirror her movement. And the push-in is probably going to be a dolly kind of shot, because the girl is walking in, kind of to mirror that. And then there's going to be a long shot of the girl and the mom talking. I took that inspiration from a scene in After, when the girl is talking to her mom in the kitchen. So before the dialogue starts taking place, the girl and her mom, they're going to have a long shot there, so as to establish that something is going to begin. And then for the dialogue, I've just put the shots of the dialogue between Tessa and her mom in that scene, so that we get a realistic kind of feel. But basically, that could have been any type of dialogue shot. So I'm having the doubt. I might do a close-up, or I might do over-the-shoulder shots, which I think are going to be more appropriate. I haven't drawn those in the storyboard, but I think that's going to be the more accurate thing to do. So when the dialogue takes place, I'm going to be using probably over-the-shoulder shots, and then go back to a medium-long shot of the mom and the girl. It's going to be closer than the previous long shot, to kind of symbolize that there has been a bonding moment, because there's a bonding moment in the dialogue, and so that it isn't the same type of shot. So then as the girl and the mom start walking toward the door, there's going to be a short tracking shot starting to follow them before the camera just cuts back to the next shot. A very simple extreme long shot of the mom and the daughter walking down the stairs of the block. And then there's going to be again a little bit of a dynamic shot of the mom getting the boxes inside the trunk of the car, and then a tracking shot sideways until we get to the back door of the car, in which the girl is going to be getting in. And then as the girl closes the door, there's going to be a cut, probably cut to black. So the diagram on the left is just showing that the camera movement from the blue ring, that's the girl's mom, tracking shot to the right to the orange ring, that's the girl. So we cut into the third scene, the car ride and the flashbacks. This is when the voiceover is going to start. So I pictured that I was going to use a point of view shot through the window, so that we get inside the girl's mind, which is going to go with the voiceover of the girl speaking to the audience directly. So I thought the point of view shot was the appropriate one to use, and it's going to be of the window, and it's going to zoom in. Hopefully I can film some birds on the sky, and ideally the shot would zoom in to the birds flying around the sky, because it makes sense with the voiceover. So then there's going to be a medium shot of the girl looking through the window of the car, so that it is confirmed that it is her speaking, it is her eyes that we're looking through. And then again a close-up of the birds through the window of the car, pushing out to a shot of the girl as a sort of variation from the previous shots, because it makes sense when the voiceover is happening. So then we're going to have a flashback, so it's going to cut to the medium shot of a girl that previous morning, laying on her bed, looking at her phone, kind of with a sad face, as I took the inspiration from an image that I looked for on the internet, of the girl looking at her phone, kind of looking a little bit sad. It's going to be the voiceover is going to be talking about her issues, her insecurities, and then this is going to cut to a point of view shot of her Instagram account, an extreme close-up of the phone. And what I really want the camera to focus on is the fact that she has got no notifications, so that's why there's going to be a sort of push in or zoom in to the empty DM section, so as to symbolize this is why she's insecure. Of course, the flashbacks, I'm going to have to edit them so that they look as though it is a flashback and they are not mistaken. And then, of course, the voiceover is going to continue and it's going to act as a thread that gets everything together. So then the camera is going to cut back to the birds and then cut again to the close-up of the girl, just taking her phone away from the face, looking straight at the camera with a sad face, kind of conveying that emotion. So again, simple shots. The pace is going to start speeding up in this part because the voiceover is going to speed up the pace in that way. And then I want to have a transition here of the birds and the girl's face. So the previous shot was the girl's face and then taking the phone away from her face and looking straight up at the camera. So then that is going to dissolve into a shot of the birds. So that's what I wanted to display in the next shots of the storyboard. Again, quite simple, dissolve transition to convey the relationship between the birds and the girl. That's going to be explained in the voiceover. And then there's going to be, again, cutting to the medium shot of the girl looking through the car window. Just simple, so as to close the scene. And finally, a flash forward. There's going to be a flash forward to a scene later in the film when the girl and the male love interest are going to be having a bonding scene. So for this, I chose the inspiration from a scene in the film Set It Up, which I wanted to recreate, but in a different type of setting. So instead of the bedroom, it's going to be a living room to make it a little bit more informal, a little bit more relaxed. So it's going to be the medium shot of the girl and the boy talking and pushing in so as to increase the tension, because the voiceover is still going to be sounding here. So pushing in probably toward the girl so that we still get the sensation that we're inside her head. And then finally a fade to black, just to convey that is the end of the opening, the end of the voiceover, the end of the flash forward as well. And of course the flash forward, I might have to edit it a little bit or maybe not. I'll look into that. So that's it. I hope that clarifies the type of shots that I'm going to be using and everything that's going to be happening in this very busy film opening of the play. Hope you enjoyed that.